Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's stream. I hope you're all doing well. It's been about a week since, actually, it's been exactly a week since I've last streamed, so been taking a bit of a break, feeling kind of refreshed, and I'm ready to get back into streaming. I guess, so the schedule for this week, just as a reminder, we're going to finish Database Detective. I'm hoping to finish Database Detective today. It's not really clear to me if the case that we're on is the final case, though. There might be another one after this, but maybe not. I'm not sure. But we'll see how it goes. The case I did last week took, I think, much longer than it should have had. I think it was mainly because I got sort of stuck in the weeds of basically too much data, and sort of wasted time there. The later this week, Sovereign Tower is coming out on Thursday, and I'll be playing that quite a bit. I think I've scheduled like Thursday, Friday, Saturday to go through that game. It sounds like a game that, because I remember playing the demo a few months ago, and I never got to the point where I could finish the demo because it took so long to even get to that point. I'm not even sure where the end of the demo is. And a lot of the game seems to there's a mechanic to go back in time, essentially. So I'm thinking that game is probably going to be a long haul. Like, we're probably going to be playing that for a while. So hence the 3 streams later this week. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I think next week I'll probably start the incident at Galley Manor. That's been on my radar for a bit. Or it snuck under my radar for some reason. Considering it's made by the same people who made The Root Trees Are Dead, which is one of my favorite games. So I'm a little surprised I didn't even notice it. But yeah, honestly, considering what I've heard with, we've had the Mermaid Mask and Desktop Explorer, and now the Incident of Galley House, I think this has been just a fantastic summer for investigative adventure games like these. And I'm looking forward to starting that next week. I guess in terms of other news, I guess I'll vaguely hint at this. There's going to be some changes coming to the stream soon. I've got some things in the works. I'm not going to say too much about it right now, but it shouldn't be too surprising. I'll have more announcements maybe in the next couple of months or so, or weeks or so. But yeah, I think I want to improve the stream a bit, and not maybe not necessarily just stay as a VTube or a PNG tuber. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's play some Database Detective. Now, I'm not sure if I'm in the right, because again, when you're doing a game like this, you need to be in sort of a programming mindset. Though I did realize that, honestly, a lot of, especially the last case, like, you don't really need like massive amounts of, like, you don't have to solve it with just queries alone. Just some straight up deduction and filtering of information is enough to get through, I think. So, but yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so let's reread the synopsis for this case. This is getting a little more serious now.
Whew. Thanks, Detective. I just told my kid what happened, and he stopped crying. Finally, some peace and quiet. What's with kids these days, anyways? Always playing games, always on their phones. Even when we make it illegal, they're still doing it. Oh, that brings us to our next case. Some college kid was caught disturbing the public with their cellular device during class time. Thankfully, this miscreant was reported by a responsible, law-abiding citizen who sent us their text message conversations with the suspect. Zora knows we could use more law-abiding citizens like that in our country. Not like these dog-nabbed phone texters. Why don't they watch TV like the rest of us?
The police chief sounds like a boomer. Yeah. Also, again, and no, I know the game's taking this very tongue in cheek, but again, just a reminder, like the setting that we're in, we're a member of a police force of an authoritarian regime, that basically Emperor Zoran, essentially. And you kind of get the sense, at least from this description, this transcript, that, and you see this a lot in, like, you know, especially like Eastern Europe or like a lot of those authoritarian states, where people would rat on each other if they want just to get a leg up on other people, because they don't want to get in trouble themselves, right? So this is very common. A lot of snitching, a lot of this sort of paranoia about other people. And it's, you know, it's not fun to live in that sort of place. I don't have personal experience with it, but I've heard a lot of stories where it's like, yeah. So yeah, let's check the clues. So again, this is somebody who texted them, and we can receive this conversation from the receiver. So, all right. There's a lot of information here. Maybe I should read there's also one last chapter of this, because we've finished chapter 7. We're at chapter 8. Let's read chapter 8 first, because I want to just brush up on my SQL knowledge here. So, self-joins. Chapter 8, self-joins and self-joins. If you enjoyed reading this book, you should take your time and savor this chapter as it is the last. If you hated reading this book, which is much more likely, you should also take your time reading this chapter as you savor the feeling that you won't have to read any more of this drivel nonsense. Self-joins. You can join a table with any other table, including itself. This is useful when you want to find the relationship between rows within the same table. Also, where's the music? There we go. Let's get that going. I just realized also this music is the same. I think it's the same royalty-free music that we heard during. I think the Rat Line had it. The Root Trees Are Dead also had something similar. So, yeah, just sort of. I like this kind of music. It's very. I feel like it helps this sort of detective investigatory mood. Anyway, so for example, take a look at the query to the left. This query finds all pairs of people where one person is exactly twice the age of the other. Since all the data we need for this is within one table, we can accomplish this with a self-join. So we're joining the people table to itself. Interesting. Okay. When we join two different tables together, we always join on the columns that share common values across tables, such as ID columns. When we join a table with itself, however, our join condition should define the difference between rows we're trying to find. In the query above, the difference we're trying to find are people that are exactly twice as old as another person. So they give a nice visualization here. So, I guess as an example, Lavon is age 2, and they are twice the age as Theodora, age 1, and so on and so forth here. When we join a table with itself, we're joining a table with another copy of itself. Table P1 is the copy of the table that will contain people with half the age as those in P2. Take a look at the tables on the left, and which illustrates what this self-join process looks like. Okay. I wonder at what point during this case will we need to do that? Oh no. This dreaded keyword. If you have a programming background, you know about this keyword. It's not easy to deal with. No. You might see a row with a column value that looks empty. Don't worry, you're not going crazy. That value is null. This means that this column value doesn't exist. For example, the example table contains my reasons to live. I don't have any, so this value is null. You can check if a column value is null by using the is or is not operators. That's a bit dark. Jeez. Okay, so yeah, we can... This is basically a condition, so we can check for columns that are null or not null. Which is actually, I think, at least when I was working in production data, like business databases, this was actually quite you see a lot of null, not null stuff. Except, oh. Now this keyword I'm actually not as familiar with, but I think I get the idea here. Sometimes it's easier to look for the opposite of what you're trying to find. Let's say we have two tables with the same columns as the people table named suspects and citizens, where each suspect is a citizen. Let's also say that we're trying to find all citizens that are not suspects. In this case, finding the opposite, finding all citizens that are suspects, is easy. We can simply select all values from the suspects table. With the except keyword, we can use the results from this query to help us find what we actually want. The except keyword allows us to subtract the results of one query from another. Place this keyword between two queries to remove the results of the bottom query from the results of the top query. In other words, it's a top query minus the bottom query. However, in order for a row to be removed using the except keyword, the entire row needs to exist in the results for both queries. Okay. So, I guess a way to maybe visualize this, I can't really draw it on screen here, but if you know a Venn diagram with, like, say there's like two circles A and B, and there's a little part A plus B, this is basically all of A, say citizens, minus suspects. So all you're left are the non-suspect citizens. This means that it's important to be very intentional about what you select, as this could change the final result of your query. This is to say that when using the except statement, you probably don't want it to be selecting all columns. So we want to select specific. You want to be very. It's basically telling us to be very specific about what we're selecting here. So in this example, it's only selecting name, and that's the thing that we're trying to exclude. Congratulations! What do you feel now that you're at the end? Is it a feeling of joy now that it's all over? Or perhaps of emptiness? That of emptiness now that there's nothing left to read. To quote our great leader Zoran, don't smile because it's over, cry because it happened. In his brilliance, our great leader Zoran summed up what it feels like to finally learn SQL. I still don't understand anything. This is how I feel a lot of times. Okay, let's get on this case here. We're gonna watch for a lot of context clues here, so let's look at these carefully. I have 4 of these. May 2nd. Weirdo classmate. Hey, we're taking 2 of the same classes this semester, haha. Crazy. Well, I'm going to be busy. Whoa, okay then, P. Okay, May 5th. Hey, did you change the page to view classes? Not that I know of. It's still lzu.edu. lzu.edu. Los Angeles University. Already a student? Classes. This is probably table. Class page. Oh, okay. Art. Oh wow, this is a full-on website. Okay. There's a lot going on here. Oh, I just noticed that they added. They must have I think they updated the game while I was away. There's now a bookmark button, which is very useful, and there's also a history. Yay! There's a history. Actually, this history. This history is actually presented as a table. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we have art, history, economics, philosophy, computer literacy, science, computer literacy, faculty member. Not sure. I have noticed that there's a lot of websites where we are able to log in, but we've never actually had needed to do that. So I'm like, The About page. Fulfilling student life. We're not just here for profit, we're also here for you. Los Angeles University began in 1998 with a single goal in mind, to educate the people of this wonderful city. Also remember, the Zoran came to power around 1988, so this must be established in favor of his regime. So, as a sole post-secondary education center in the entirety of Calizorania, we offer many state-of-the-art programs ranging from history to philosophy, allowing our graduates to accomplish anything, as long as they limit their ambitions to the range of history to philosophy. In these past 10 years, our vision of providing the best possible education for the people of Los Angeles has never faltered, and we hope that vision includes you. So I'm reading this. Decent teaching staff. Today's assignment, write down your social security number. Okay. Ascend humanity? What the hell? Come see why we're ranked in the top 100,000 universities in the world. That's not a flex. We're considered to be the best mostly accredited university. We have a post-graduation employment rate of over 5%. I always kind of feel like this whole thing's kind of a subtle commentary by the developer, because this whole thing of like you go to your university and then suddenly you find that there's no jobs available. Yeah. Okay, so their logo has changed. I wonder if this is relevant. What are you waiting for? Apply now. Last name. Oh. I guess so technically in my lore of my PNG tuber, he has no last name. So I don't know. Phone number? I'm not going to put my real phone number in here. 111-222-3333. Address? 123 Main Street. Family net worth 0. Thank you for your application. Responses will be sent in 3 to 5 business years. Also got an achievement from that. Okay. So, LZU. Let's keep reading the text messages so we can just sort of pinpoint where we need to focus. Because I have a feeling, just like the last case, there's probably a plethora of different types of data, but we don't need all of it to solve this case. We need to. Basically trying to say we need to stay focused on the task at hand before. Otherwise, we'll get overwhelmed here. Also, there's a big gap here. May 5th, and then we jump to May 27th. Hey, what did you draw for the project? What the fuck? Why are you asking? Just looking for inspiration. Wow. Okay, whoever this guy is, I'm not even... The weirdo doesn't seem that weird. This person seems not very friendly. Thanks for the advice. WYA is on the main page? Is that a... That might be an acronym that as my millennial self does not know what that means. YWA. Did you get an ACB for the homework? Yeah, I got that too. Cool. The person who sits next to me in my row says so too. She got a better test score than both of us combined. That doesn't sound hard to do, especially with your score. Hey, I've been to less than half of the classes. Give me a break. Okay, this one seems like we can... Seems like a big hint there. And finally, ASDF Wait, did you send that when we were in class? You know that's illegal. Huh? Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. That was an accident. Please don't report me. I'll do anything. Please don't. LeMayo, please. Wow, okay. So we have to figure out who this... They based on this thing that said, what did you draw for the project? It sounds... Art sounds like probably the most obvious, though again, you could draw for other classes too. All right, let's check. Actually, can I look at the other? Oh, I can look around. Oh boy. Part of me kind of wants to read a lot of this though, because there's a lot of lore and stuff, like especially the history part. I'm very curious about the propaganda that's being spread here. Your professor. Okay, well, maybe I'll read that. Let's check art first. Don't be an anarchist, be an artist. Zoran. Astronaut, light scribbles, sun and sun. The tackle. Frog and prey, lines and colors. Portrait from upstate. Mokops. Okay. Your professor. Love and happiness. Two things I will never know what it's like to have. Oh boy. I was left in a dumpster as a small child, sustaining myself through rotten banana peels and wet paper bags. I lived in this dumpster throughout my years of public school, where I was mocked relentlessly for my dirty appearance and rank odor. Every night in my dumpster, I cried. This was my life until adulthood, where I eventually channeled my unmatched sadness, pain, and suffering into pure artistic energy. Unfortunately, my critics have been just as kind as my fellow schoolchildren, leaving me in a cycle of unending torment. This was my reality when I made my famous series of work, Tears on Paper, made up of sheets of white office paper drenched with my tears. Jesus. Georgine Francis. Okay. Class syllabus. Attendance is optional. I understand many people are disgusted by my visage, and I do not want to forcefully inflict this pain onto you. However, you must be in class to turn in your homework and projects. Exams. There will be 2 large projects that will serve as your exams. Details about these will be discussed in class. Use these projects as an opportunity to let out your sorrow. I see 25%, 25%, 50. I have the feeling grading percentages might come into play here. Weekly homework. Bring something from your home that makes you suffer. You'll be drawing this object this Thursday. I'll be bringing my mirror. Jeez. What the heck is... The amount of detail they put into this game is incredible, but a lot of good writing. 4 drawing mistakes from bad artists you should never make, by Leonardo da Vinci. Not drawing noses. Let's be real, we have noses. Yet some artists decide to forego this fact and neglect adding noses to their character designs. They claim this is a stylistic choice, which is probably the laziest justification due to the fact that any flaw in an artist's design can be justified as a stylistic choice. Drawing stick figures is a stylistic choice, but you won't find me calling that fine art anytime soon. Outlining with black. Black outlines, to put quite simply, contrast heavily with the colors that these outlines contain inside them. This robs a drawing of its focus, making a mess of what it's supposed to be. Luckily, not many artists make this mistake, only complete amateurs. Lack of shading. A small change in the direction or intensity that light shines on something can have drastic effects on how it's shaded, which is why you should avoid just putting the bare minimum effort into this part of the drawing process, such as just shading one side of an object and stopping there. For example, study how the color of shadows change at different distances from a light source. Don't make the amateur mistake of shading with just one color. Okay, this one, I mean, I see the point, but, you know, just with no shading or lack of shading, that's art too. There's nothing invalid about that. Unrealistic hands. Hands are easy to draw, but which makes it strange when artists try to make shortcuts when drawing hands. I've seen artists try to avoid drawing hands in the most infuriating ways possible, such as not drawing fingers at all, drawing circles for hands, or drawing little stubs where fingers are supposed to be. That is not okay. If you avoid all of these mistakes, keep in mind it does not mean you are a good artist, just a slightly less bad one. These are the bare minimum standard for what I expect from my class. I see. Okay. Unfortunately, no real hints as to, like, I can't get... I'm having a strange feeling that maybe they're not in an art class necessarily. Because I'm not getting, there's no way of getting like lists, we're trying to find a database table of like students and stuff, but I'm not seeing anything here. Let's get out of here. Do I have to read the other? I guess I will. Let's go to actually, I'm quite interested in the history here, so let's read this one. I have never done anything wrong in my life. History will prove this. Sorry. Very much a narcissistic kind of saying there. Learn about the history of the blood spilled for this land and the iconic buildings in our brilliant sky. You kids these days have no idea how good you have it. Back in my day, there were no roads and cars, only trains. Those gosh dang things, I hate them. You also had to work back then, I'll tell you what. We paved over neighborhoods hand by hand just so you kids these days could relax in bumper-to-bumper traffic. And this gosh befuddled internet, all these websites and articles. To pass the time back in my day, we just kept our feelings bottled inside until we developed alcohol dependency and abused our loved ones. Oh no, whatever happened to that? Bring back the good old days where men went fishing and died at 40. That's the Calazorani I know. This guy has a humongous chip in his shoulder. Anyways, I've been a city planner and historian for 20 years. Please go to trainsarbad.com for examples of my activism. Oh, I hate this guy already. I hate this guy. I love trains. Should I look at this? Oh, okay, good. Trains are bad. I don't like them, source me. This kind of reminds me a little bit of... there's a famous subreddit. It's called, I think fuck cars, I think. Or I hate cars, something like that. Or anti-car, which I mean, it's a bit more on the extreme side of like, you know, like this whole sort of car-based culture that a lot of places have, especially in America. I think like there's certainly a point where I do feel like, yeah, I think there are a lot of places that they don't invest enough in public transportation or bike paths or alternate forms of transportation for people to get around, and everything is you know, sort of centered around the car. And actually, you know, there's a lot of people who are like even bike paths. They hate cyclists. They hate bike paths. They feel like it's a waste of money and space. And this is definitely sort of reminiscent of that, I think. Usually older people, unfortunately. Class syllabus. Let's see. Back in my day, everyone went to class. You will too. I know this generation won't like to hear that, but too bad. I will keep track of attendance on a piece of paper like what they did in the good days. There will be some essays you need to write in class. I will give back scores in person because that's how they should be done. Not in this computator mumbo jumper. He's also very anti-technology, I see. Yes, you are being graded. I am not handing out participation trophies. Okay. 10% attendance. Wow. Weekly homework. Do the weekly reading and respond to the following prompt. What were the consequences of the 1993 global Los Angeles sanctions on the emerging political and social movements across Kalazurania as a whole. How has the development of the highway system across urban environments alleviated some of these problems? How would trains have made everything worse? I can already... This guy is injecting his bias right away. The response must be no greater than 500 words with at least 20 citations in MLA format. Font must be Times New Zoran, 22 point, triple spaced, italicized with strike through and right justified. This will be collected in class Friday. Oh, I like this. Oh, he is a city planner, so it's actually kind of up my alley here. Weekly reading. Landmarks of Los Angeles by Frank Lloyd Left. It's hard to not be in awe of the landscape of Los Angeles. Thick rectangular slabs of concrete rise from all directions throughout the city, a monument to its rapid growth and industrialization. Naturally, a few of these structures have become symbols of this powerful city, their facades a representation of order and stability. Reminds me of Eastern European architecture a little bit. Or maybe similar to, what's the term? You know those buildings that are just made of full, like just concrete? It was sort of a big fad in the 80s and 90s. The term kind of escapes me at the moment, but the Los Angeles University Arch. Built closely to the front of Los Angeles University, this arch remains the only curved structure throughout the entire nation. Wow. Made from Naxian marble, this monument honors Zoran's humility during the peaceful invasion of Yugoslavia. Yeah, right. Humility. Completed in 1994. We've seen some hints of like addresses and stuff in the game. I wonder if this might come into play. This seems to be north of, well, hold on. This map is already missing. There's already a big flaw in this map. There's no north indicator. So I'm not sure if this is north of the university campus. Our leader's estate. The official residence of our great leader Zoran. Currently the tallest building in Los Angeles, this humble skyscraper has some floors completely open to reduce wind resistance. At night, warm red lights glow from the window for benevolent reasons. What an ugly tower, honestly. Ugh. And finally, the Kalazurania State Building. Formerly the tallest building in Los Angeles, this iconic one-of-a-kind skyscraper is the center of the nation's government and bureaucracy. Due to its location, this building can be seen from anywhere across this city. So this one's a much older. This one was completed in 1931. Central Park. Oh, I see. You can kind of put the maps together here. This is Central Park, Thompson Street, Bleecker Street, and then you can see. You can put this map to the right of this one. So Bleecker Street's right there. This his estate is down the street. And then... Can't really... Oh, there's Bleecker Street there. But it's not really clear. Is this south of the Central Park or north of the Central Park? I'm not sure. Probably south based on this. Because if Bleecker Street ends, well, you know, some cities have like the street ends here because Central Park's in the way, but it could continue on the other side of Central Park. So I don't know if we can make that assumption here. Again, no. I'm unsure. There's no. I'm guessing this is not. I don't think they're in a history class. Let me see if I can find more hints here. WYA is on the main page. Maybe it's on. Let me just look through here. Economics, philosophy. Computer literacy. science. WYA. I'm trying to find if... I'm looking at the main pages of these, but I'm not seeing... Yeah, I'm not seeing what they could be talking about here. Also, do we have actually any tables? No, we start off with no tables in this case. Usually they give us that, so we have to do all the lifting here. I'm gonna close this one, I think, because I don't think it's relevant. Oh, or at least it is relevant in terms of, like, it shows the infraction that happened, but doesn't really give us much hints of who they are. Unless... I guess maybe there might be a class schedule, so maybe that might come into play, but I don't know. Okay, this is something about test scores. An ACB for the homework. So we've already seen... There must be some hints of, like, how this homework is graded. So I can already tell this is just an essay. So I think we just need to keep reading here. Let's go on to economics. High inflation means more money for everyone. Confucius. I don't think that's how it works. You poor? Unsurprising. Most people are. Most people don't know anything about money. Have you heard of supply and demand? Buying low and selling high. Gross domestic product? You haven't? That's because these obscure concepts and industry secrets are something that only people with 180 plus IQ will know about. Until now. This sounds like a big scam. Like a get-rich-quick scheme. More money is good. Stop being poor. Learn about money with me, Janet Talkin, your lifeline out of poverty. Yeah. Get in debt. Buy high... What? To make money, you have to understand money. I'm Janet Talkin, and I understand money. My career began when I dropped out of high school to learn about money in the gritty streets of Los Angeles. There's a citation of one here. 1. When my father is working in his banking firm, he jokingly says that he's in the gritty streets. Oh. I see. So, a banker. I learned how to fend for myself. Oh, 2. I didn't get that much help on the first week of my internship at my father's banking firm. And at least this person has citations. And through these years, the internship lasted a few weeks, but it felt like years of hardship. I learned volumes about finance and economics by bartering whatever small scraps. Scraps are an industry term for stocks and bonds worth millions of dollars. That is true. Small scraps I could find. It is because of this, not despite it, that I am now a millionaire. However, I remain humble and would like to teach you everything I know due to the goodness of my heart. All I ask is one measly favor. For you to recommend this class to 5 of your closest friends and have them each do the same. This will make the world a better place. This sounds like a pyramid scheme. An MLM, so to speak. Attendance. The easiest way to get rich is to work hard. That is why we'll make this class unnecessarily difficult. You will need to come to every class and remember your seat. This will be important for your hustler mindset. Ugh. I hate hustlers. Okay, here we go. Seating assignments can be viewed here. Attendance sheet will be available here. I'll click those in a sec. There will be a midterm and a final. These exams are mandatory and I will ignore most bribes sent my way. Midterm scores are now released and available here. Okay. I won't click these just yet because I want to look at the other classes, see if they have something similar, because we didn't see anything for art and history, so I think those can be excluded. Midterm final homework, 40% attendance. Wow. Ah, okay, so there we go. Did you get ACB for the homework? This seems to match up here. Okay, so maybe we do have to download these tables. Try to understand the provided literature to answer this question. Why is the economy of Los Angeles considered a market economy? A. Los Angeles has a flourishing private sector with little state intervention. B. Los Angeles has lots of markets. C. Foods and services make up most of the Los Angeles economy, and these industries are privately held. D. The economy of Los Angeles is not considered a market economy. We've seen hints. There's a lot of businesses in this state, this city. So it is technically a market economy, though I'm a little suspicious of if it's fully that. Take a look at the actual exports of Los Angeles measured in millions of dollars, which you can download here, another link. Use this data for the next few questions. 2. On average, exports from non-ZOCs, ZOCs, what does that mean? Make up how much of Los Angeles' total exports each year? 5, 8, 10, 15%. Between which years did exports by ZOCs experience the largest decrease in the worth of goods exported? As someone who I've never really taken a full-on economics class, but I did take a economic geography class, which is very similar things in it. So it's kind of giving me university flashbacks, to be honest. And finally, readings. Oh, here we go. The Los Angeles Market Economy by Peter Temin. Commonly referred to as the capital of the world, Los Angeles is located between the Hudson and East Rivers. Due to this location, Los Angeles, prior to the global sanctions, has been an important port city exporting a considerable portion of the world's raw energy materials such as coal and crude oil. These raw energy materials are exclusively produced by Zoran-owned companies. So, not purely a market economy. These are state-owned companies who hold a benevolent monopoly over the entire energy sector. The term benevolent monopoly is a term to describe a monopoly held for benevolent reasons as opposed to financial ones. Not sure about that. Zoran also holds a benevolent monopoly over the production of media and industrial materials. Media, makes sense because you want to control the propaganda and the information. And industrial materials, I guess for wartime stuff? I don't know. Outside of these ZOCs, Los Angeles also exports food, services, and artistic crafts. These are entirely produced by citizens who are allowed to start businesses and create websites themselves with very little barrier to entry. Okay. So that's the market part, I guess. Although the predominant economic force in Los Angeles is driven by ZOCs, the Los Angeles economy is still considered a market economy. This is because ZOCs are not state-owned, but privately owned. Are they kind of getting their definitions mixed up here? Let's keep reading. The Los Angeles market is thus bound by market forces with very little state intervention. The only regulatory requirement is a permit to start a business, which needs to be reapproved every 2 years. But if it's owned by Zoran, who is the state... Yeah, this is... I don't know about this, but I guess for the point of our data collection, yeah, now we know. Now we have a definition of what ZOCs are. Okay. So let's I guess we'll start. I'm just gonna quickly look at the other sites here. We might read this later, but I'm just looking for any. They're also seating assignments and stuff here too. Oh, philosophy also has this. Oh, it could be philosophy too. Shoot, so it may not be economics. These two could be in a different class. Interesting. Okay. And computer literacy. Yeah, I don't think this one seems a little. Yeah, this is more fluff. And then finally we have science. And science does provide seating assignments and attendance sheets. So So really the three classes of interest are economics, philosophy, and science. But which class were they in? That's the question. Oh. Hey, we're taking 2 of the same classes this semester. Hey, did they change the page to view classes? Okay, part of me would ask, is there a different... Maybe this is just a way of just showing that this is lzu.edu, but I don't know. I don't know if that means anything. So we're basically looking for 2 students in likely 2 of these same classes here. I think the dates actually might come into play here. Okay, I guess I'll read the rest of these. I kind of find it fun to read these, but also at the same time, it's going to take us longer to solve the case. But I guess we should get context of what we're trying to deal with here. So let's move on to philosophy. The most important rule in philosophy is to not question authority. Zoran. Hello, students. Is this thing on? Haha, just kidding. Happy face. Welcome to philosophy, where we'll learn about the core principles of the universe and raise questions for which there might be no answers. Questions like, where does knowledge come from? Why do I feel such a close connection to our great leader Zoran even though I've never seen him in person? And why did my ex-wife Shelley say she wanted to see other people? This course covers the basics of epistemology, metaphysics, political theory, ethics, and the fundamentals of Zoroastrianism. Oh boy. Not sure what some of those words mean? Neither do I. Let's take this semester as a chance to learn these terms together. Thinking face. Honestly, thinking face emoji is probably my favorite one. I've used this a couple times in some of my shorts. Your professor. Hi there, student. I'm Arthur Sioran, and I'm so glad you want to learn more about me, smiley face. Some people consider me one of the top philosophers in Calazorania due to the amount of thoughts that I think, more than 100 per day. I'm also just a happy, humble, ordinary guy, smiley face. In my free time, I like to think thoughts, of which I have more than 100 per day, and write about philosophy. One of my greatest achievements was publishing my 12-page Los Angeles Times bestseller, Critique of Pure Reason, which argues against Kant's transcendental idealism in favor of a more Zoroastrian perspective. I also have one cat, who I love very much, smiley face. I just love life. He doesn't seem very happy, but my cute kitty. I did take one, usually like in first year, like the entry-level philosophy course. I remember some vague things about it, but not everything. Kant is, I think we definitely touched on Kant's stuff. Attendance will be graded. This will be easy points because I know you love philosophy as much as I do, smiley face. Also, since I want each person here to have a dedicated thinking friend for the whole semester, there will be assigned seating. Okay. There'll be 2 cumulative exams, a midterm and a final, which will both cover everything we have learned up until then. Smiley face. I like this. 35% midterm, 40% final, 15% homework, 10% attendance. Pretty standard stuff. Okay, weekly homework. Read the excerpt from my book and answer this question. According to Zoroastrianism, why do we know we are experiencing the true form of Zoran? A. Zoran universally inspires positive emotion which exists beyond space and time. B. Zoran has abilities to manipulate people's perception of space and time, which means he exists outside the bounds of space and time. What the hell is all this? C. We see the true forms of everything, Zoran included. D. We do not experience the true form of Zoran. Zoroastrianism has been very influential. For the next few questions, download this table that shows just how influential Zoroastrianism has been. How many philosophers only have Zoran as a direct influence? 11 to 14. Not counting duplicates, how many philosophers have been directly influenced by someone who was directly influenced by Zoran? Socrates, famous student of Zoran. What the hell? I think this is where the self-joins probably come in here. That's my guess. I think this is a table of philosophers. Okay, and then finally readings. Oh boy. Critique of Pure Reason. I must start by mentioning my hesitation at completely destroying the entire legacy of Immanuel Kant. He seems nice. Regretfully, however, it must be done. We begin with how Kant categorizes space and time. In Kant's perspective, space and time are an innate part of our intuition, necessary for how we perceive and interact with the world. Kant believes this means that we cannot comprehend the true forms of objects. Objects perceived without the distortions of space and time. However, this is all really stupid, as there is only one clear example of a person whose true form can be experienced: Zoran. To put simply, this is because Zoran inspires universal emotion. Our great leader creates feelings of overwhelming bliss and a willingness to obey his authority, a feeling which permeates throughout Los Zorangelian society, regardless of experience or knowledge. This is to say that Zoran inspires the same emotions no matter who he is, who is in his presence, from newborns to pets and animals. From this, we can conclude that deference to Zoran is an innate part of nature, baked within our intuition, for his emotional influence is universal for all living beings. This is the kind of stuff that you read in, like, if you lived in North Korea and, you know, Kim Jong-il and Kim Il-sung, like, yeah. These emotions also transcend space and time, for it is the faculty of the mind, which exists outside of space and time, that processes these emotions. We can also thus conclude that Zoran is beyond space and time due to his ability to universally influence something beyond space and time. In other words, Zoran is as fundamental to the world as space and time, which means that there is nothing to distort Zoran's true form. This core aspect of Zoroastrianism is the first example of why Kant's works have no place in modern philosophical thought. Blah. Jeez. Forgot? Again, a lot of philosophy is based around logic, and you sort of get into these sort of very logical arguments here. So that's philosophy. I'm actually going to skip computer literacy because I want to look at science, which also has very similar things here. All of science purely consists of unwavering faith, trust, and belief. Albert Einstein. I don't think he said that. Together, we will explore the world of science in a very safe and supportive environment. We will primarily learn about the human body, and we have excellent class equipment, including hundreds of ethically sourced, largely voluntarily donated model skeletons. I want to say that these model skeletons are coming from my own personal collection, so be very careful of them. We also have in-class experiments. If anyone would like to volunteer to be experimented, please let me know. There will be extra credit. You don't need to be a student, so please also ask your least favorite friend or family member. I see. I'm Marion. I was born in Greenpoint. As a child, I was a very good person who was not capable of committing crimes. This is especially true now, maybe even more so. Everyone who talks to me would say I should not be accused of any crimes around the area because there is no way that such an ethical person could murder so many people. I'm also known to be extremely charitable as I donate lots of kidneys, so I'm a net positive to the world. Teaching science is my biggest skill. My field of expertise is human anatomy. The human body fascinates me in so many ways. Please come to my office hours, which start at 21:30, located at the alleyway in the middle of Cortlandt Street. Unfortunately, my office is very small, so I can only have one student there at a time. This also means whoever is visiting me should make sure they are not being followed, as it would be very awkward if two students showed up there at the same time. Very sus person. There will be attendance. I want you here every class. I like looking at you while I'm teaching. I enjoy knowing who I'm looking at, so there will be assigned seats. 3 exams, okay. Exam 1 is scores are available. Extra credit is 5%. Read the research article and answer the following question. What are the odds that someone who is cool and someone who is not cool, with the cool gene, CC, have a child that is cool? Okay. Coolness is measured by the number of SQL queries someone has written. Download my studies here. Use this for the next questions. It has been proven that cool people write more than 500 queries before reaching 21 years of age. With this in mind, how many cool people were included in the study above? Based on the study above, between which ages on average does the number of queries someone writes increase the most? Wow, okay. Genetics of personality. Oh, this is, I remember learning about this. Do we get our personalities from our parents? Science says yes. Research has shown that personality traits, such as being a cool person, follows typical Mendelian inheritance. This means that an individual's personality is entirely derived from their parents, and that a person's personality can be predicted before they're born. Let's take the coolness trait, for example. Being cool has been found to be a recessive trait, as opposed to not being cool, a dominant trait. The dominant traits overpower recessive traits, which explains why there are so few cool people compared to people who are not cool. What makes us cool are cool genes, which are composed of 2 alleles. We will label the alleles of coolness with the letter C, with capital letters representing the dominant trait of not being cool. A person who is not cool might have the cool gene of CC, big C, or big C, small c, as the presence of the dominant trait overrides the recessive ones. Someone who is cool, then, must have the cool gene of small c and small c. The prediction process requires drawing a table with each parent's cool genes. Let's try predicting whether or not two uncool people with cool genes C, big C, and small c will have a cool child. Note that each combination of genes has an equal likelihood of happening. From this table, we can see that the possible gene combinations are big C, small c, and small c. Since there are 4 squares and each combination is equally likely, each of these squares represents 25% chance that the gene contained inside will be chosen. So basically, yeah, you have 25% chance of being cool in this sort of situation. Okay. Just for completeness, I'm going to read this computer literacy one. This will probably be pretty humorous. Computers are the next big thing. With this class, learn how to navigate the wide world of the web to access the platform of the future. We will cover essential things that you need to know in order to understand and eventually master the art of using the internet. Things like how to turn on your computer, how to look through database tables, how to create an account for a website, how to avoid common scams, how to have strong internet security. Okay. I know these sort of computer teachers. Computer expert, passionate teacher, devoted family man. These are only some of the terms that describe the brilliant Professor Douglas. A native of Los Angeles, Alan Douglas was born and raised less than 400 feet away from where Los Angeles University is now, eventually joining as an IT specialist, a job that Professor Douglas still has today. After noticing the alarming amount of internet scams proliferating the city, it became Alan Douglas's duty to educate the populace about the importance of computer security and the basics of using the internet. Learn to upload an image of yourself like this one later on this course. Walking through the arch on the way to my first day of work. Guess in this picture the art. Huh. You kind of tell it's dated because the arch isn't completed here yet. This class will not take attendance, but don't let that stop you from coming. My lectures have at least 100% satisfaction rate. There will be no exams for this class. Your final grade will be determined entirely by your weekly homework, so make sure those are turned in and done correctly. Using the rules mentioned in the reading, write down your password. Write down the websites that you have created an account with using this password. Sounds simple enough. Let's read the keys of our digital age. Now that our society is becoming more integrated with the internet, having a strong password is becoming more important than ever. Think of passwords as the keys of our digital age. And if you know anything about keys, it's that you should always remember where they're kept. That's why it's important to have one good password that you use for everything, so there's less chance of losing it to memory. That is not good security practice right there. There are two halves to a good password. The first half should be a memorable word in lowercase that only you should know about. This can be anything from your mother's maiden name to the name of the elementary school you went to. If you want a password as strong as mine, however, you should use the name of the street that you were raised on. Oh. Okay, I'm actually kind of glad I read this because this seems to hint, because we saw that there's a teacher login. And I'm guessing it's a pretty good chance that I don't know if it's this professor, but there's a pretty good chance one of the other professors probably uses this sort of password scheme. Mother's maiden name, elementary school. You should use the name of the street that you were raised on. For the latter half of your password, you should follow the same advice, but use a number instead. However, try not to use a number larger than 100, as that might make it too hard to remember. For example, I used the last two digits of the year that I first started working here at LZU. Now that's not a year I will forget anytime soon. Okay. Let me just check. I'm gonna bookmark that actually. That seems important. Oh, usually when you're logging into, this is terrible security actually. What if two users have the same password? That makes no sense. Oh, there's a forgot password here. This gives you a hint to look at Alan Douglas. Okay. So, yeah, usually there's like a username and password. I was thinking, do I need to figure out the username of the teachers? Like, it could be, usually it's something like, the first letter of their first name and their last name. But in this case, we just need the password. So let's try and figure that out. I'm also not sure. Let me look at this carefully. So I'm guessing it probably is the name of the street that you were raised on. And it's some sort of number. For example, I used the last two digits of the year that I first started working at LZU. Where? Oh yeah, so the About page. has this thing, which should give enough, could definitely give some hints of when they first worked here. Like I can see right here, you can see that there's the LZU logo, right? So we could try to log into Alan Douglas's account. Oh, hold on. Alan Douglas was born and raised less than 400 feet away from where Los Angeles University is now. Okay. Let me get my... Oh, I have all these old notes from last time. Let's clear this out. That last honestly, that last case was kind of annoying. So let's... I know he's not probably relevant, but I kind of want to hack into Alan Douglas's account here. So less than 400 feet away from the university. I mean, we've seen that. We looked at history, because this guy's a city planner. Okay, so these are... It would be the arch. So it could be less than 400 feet away. So it could be any of these roads, actually, because this is, if it's 200, this seems like this little block here seems to be 200 feet. And that's, yeah, so it might, maybe Cricket Road is eliminated, but it could be Mittens, Bleecker, Purring, Cortland, Thompson Street. Just gonna look here again. It doesn't specify which street they're on, so let's just list out. I'll just list out all of the possibilities here. So we have, I guess I'll add Cricket in here. Mittens, Bleecker, Portland, Thompson, Purring. And it said, what did he say here? A memorable word in lowercase. So actually this should be all lowercase. And then the digits are the last two digits of the year I started working at LZU. So if you look at this, it's this logo. And if we go back to the About page, the one with the torch on it. So something, it'll be 93 to 96. So it could be 93 to 96. Or I guess 94, 95, or 96. So we could just go through it and see if we get a match. I'm just kind of curious. I feel like I'm a hacker here. Let's do... it. Okay, this might be a bit tedious, but Cricket 94, Cricket 95. Okay, so not Cricket. Mittens 93. Sorry for the... It seems this is kind of tedious, but it's got to be one of these, right? Bleecker 93. So it's not Bleecker. It might be Cortland because, again, He must have walked through the arch on his way to work. And the arch is on Cortlandt Street. Ah. Okay. That was it. So, Cortlandt 93. Teacher's Lounge. Treat your students with kindness, not with anger. Gandhi. Teachers only. Students get out. You won't like me when I'm angry. Ah, here we go. Now we have the schedules for their classes. That's important. Oh, where's... Oh. I can actually click the door here. That's kind of cool. Discussion. Oh, more forums here. Talk about anything work-related. Hello everyone, I made this page so that us teachers have a place to chat about whatever is on our minds. By Alan Douglas. Hello, can anyone see this? Can someone please write something? I literally spent months making this. Georgine Francis says hi. Oh, and here's the anti-technology guy, the Scrooge. These young kids keeps using LOL. Any adults here have any tarnation what this means? It means being lazy. You can learn what a lot of these acronyms mean on youthtranslator.com. Those darn kids and their made-up words. Youth Translator. If anyone has a student that no one will miss, please let me know where they live. Oh, this is the science teacher. Youth Trans... What the heck is... Oh, there. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I was like wondering what is that acronym, and I'm like, oh. So all of these actually have different meanings in this universe. Interesting. Okay, let's read through these. What is your child texting? Do you know what your child is telling others? LOL. Lots of lollygagging. Use when there's very little or no more work left to do. Example. I'm going to watch TV after work. LOL. Oh. Okay, that's a That's a very different definition of that acronym, I have to say. KYS means Kentucky Yellow-Spotted Salamander, a species of salamander native to the Kentucky region, known for their bright spotted patterns. You're asking for my favorite salamander? KYS. WTF. White's tree frog. A friendly species of frog that is commonly kept as a pet, also known as a dumpy tree frog, DTF. What WTF are you croaking about in the middle of the night, right now? WY. I actually don't know the actual definition of this. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna look on WYA acronym. You can kind of tell this is how dated I am because I'm... Where you at? That's what WYA means. I've never used that. I guess this is probably an acronym, a newer acronym, I guess. Maybe a more Gen Alpha sort of thing, I don't know. Wow, your art. Said as an expression of awe at a piece of artwork. WYAs has such a balanced composition of colors. CPR, Critique of Pure Reason, philosophy book written by Immanuel Kant. I'm having an epistemological crisis. Does anyone know CPR? LMAO is love my authoritarian overlord. Wow. And please is praise and love Zoran. Used to express your love to the leader of Calazorania. Long live Los Angeles LMAO, please. Let's bookmark of that. Okay, so based on this, then this gives me more context. Wow, your art is on the main page. Oh. Oh, I think I see now. We know... How can I get back to LZU here? So the person that sent in these text messages is one of these 8 people. Yeah. Okay. Because again, this person has an art class. I don't think the other person here is in the art. I think they're in one of the other 3, economics, philosophy, or science. Yeah. Okay. And then, oh, we still have to get back into here, teachersonly.com. Important data. Ah, here we go. Important data do not leak. Student names, final grades, student bank account passwords, tasty recipes. Taking this down to the device of my defense attorney. Wow. All right. Let's download that. This is probably a big ass table, I bet. Okay, so our suspect is, oh, this is, yep, that's a lot there. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Let me just do a little, I'm just kind of curious about what the parentheses, count of student ID, I guess. 2,480 students. That's a lot. Okay. So I'm glad we got. I'm glad I went to this first because this at least provides us with a little base to work from. So we have the master students table, and now we can join that or compare it against these other classes. So. So we actually know. I wonder if I should try to make a table with only those 8 people on the art page. And then from there I can try to find the students, because this other student, the suspect we're looking for, shares 2 classes with them. So maybe, let me see if I can make a query like that. So select star from students. Gonna be a lot of where clauses in this one. So where, what's the column name here? First name, first underscore name. And also we have to remember about the whole thing with the or clauses and stuff. So I think I'll do this. Let's do it like this. I'm also going to, so this is a whole and clause on its own. And then, guess, okay, we just copy this 8 times. Oh. It's not quite working out the way I was suspected. Why is this so weird? Why is this or... Oh, I see. Or... I don't know. I don't know why the or fits into this line, but not the second line. It's kind of weird that it went onto the... It's kind of throwing me off here. Okay, so let's see. Jackson Cod. Oh, no, that's the wrong. Oh, why is this so weird? Oh, something's wrong here. Something's screwed up here. Jackson, You see this? I'm selecting text, but if I delete it, it's deleting the wrong part. That's kind of bad. That's a bug, if I ever saw one. Let me try to clear it up here. Let's try this again. So from where? Maybe it might be because maybe the enter key, the page return, or the carriage return might have screwed it up there. So first name, okay, let's do brackets here. First name equals Mark, and last name equals Rockthrow. I'm just going to type it in one long, unbroken sentence here. Though I can probably save a little bit by copying that part. Okay, Jackson, last name Cod, or Patricia Marie, or Frances Joy, or Matthew Koji, or Peter Mondi, or okay, it's not bugging out here, so I think this should be pretty good. Martha, Lisa, or, and finally Andrew Basil. So what I'm trying to do with this query, I should get a table of just these 8 students. There it is. Oh, I should also save it. Let's save. What should we call this? Let's call it artists. Yeah, artists. So again, the person who sent the me in these conversations is one of these 8 people, because you know they're on their art is on the main page. So with this table, now we can use this in our subsequent queries to try to filter out who this other person is. So let's see. So I guess we can just start with economics as a starting. It's like just a start here. So I'm gonna have to download some of these other tables. Seating assignments. Attendance sheet. Let's go through all of these. Econ seats, econ attendance, econ scores. Okay, so the seats have their student ID, row and seat number. Okay. In attendance. Ah. Oh, I see. Okay, so this one can have duplicates because it's 5, 7, 12, 14. Now the problem here, I'm not sure if this is relevant. Class. Oh, I guess the class information's right there. If we go back to here. Okay, I guess this is just a sort of an overview of all the classes all in one spot, so just for convenience. Francis Douglas. The thing is, these classes happen on a weekly basis. But I can at least, based on this attendance and the dates of these classes, I can kind of discern if it's I can at least discern if it's a Tuesday, Thursday class or a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. So this, we have the 5th, the 7th, 12, 14. There should be... Okay, based on this, I'm getting the sense that this is a Tuesday. Well, I guess it tells you right there, right? So maybe this is not really... This is not really relevant. This is not actually... I'm not discovering anything here. So never mind that. Okay, and finally we have midterm scores, which are just... It's just a number. It's just a numeric number. Someone got 100%, 100 on that exam. That's pretty cool. Oh, a couple people did. So I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just, because there's always a possibility, because you know, if you've ever been to university, some people don't attend exams or attend all classes or even exams. I think attendance is probably, or not attendance, seat assignments is probably the best indicator of whether that student has been enrolled into a class. So I think we'll use the seat assignments for this. In that case, I am going to get the seat assignments for the other two classes that we have access to. So philosophy, seating assignments. So we have philosophy seats. And then science. Okay. So we have those three. How am I going to make this query, though? We're looking for these 8... And this is the only information that we have, so we're looking for We're looking for, out of these 8 people, which of them are in 2 out of the attending a 2 out of the 3? I guess I could kind of do this manually, perhaps, because maybe doing it via query might be a bit too difficult. Yeah. Let's try this. Select star from artist A, join on star of econ. Econ seats E, where A.studentID is E.studentID. Oh. Oh, okay. So we can already there's only one of these people is an econ. Interesting. I was kind of expecting more than that, but this works, I guess. So, let me just hold on to that for a sec. And let me change this to Phil. Let's try the other ones. Philosophy seats P. Who's in philosophy? Huh. I'm starting to get a sense that we might... I think we know who this is. Yeah. Let me... Okay. Let's do science. Is it going to be Matthew Hoji again? It is. So he is... Okay. So he is our guy, I think. And he's attending all 3 of these classes. Okay. So let's actually note his information down. So we don't need the artist table anymore. We've identified who the person who sent the evidence to us. He's not the suspect. So Matthew Hoji, 92486. Student ID. And okay. And now we're trying to find some. Okay, I guess this doesn't really tell us that much, except we might have to read the text messages again. Let's. So our suspect is in 2 out of the 3 classes. Hey, what did you draw for the project? Okay. Did you get ACB for the homework? Cool, the person who sits next to me in my row says so too. She got a better test score than both of us combined. That doesn't sound hard to do, especially with your score. Okay. Yeah, I've been to less than half of the classes. Give me a break. I think we need to identify. We need to identify which class this is. Yeah, and we do have a date here, so June 28. So let's close this off. This page 3 has a lot of hints here. So I'm gonna actually put this over on this side. So I guess we do need the attendance tables. So let's grab those. So sign attendance. I guess I'll get the exam scores too. So let's put that here. Let's move these up here actually. Okay. And then philosophy attendance and the scores. Then we'll do the economics one too. There's also a table for the quiz itself. I don't know if I need to actually answer the quiz questions. It'd be kind of fun though. Oh, and then this and that. So attendance and scores. So did you get A, C, B for the homework? Why is it in this sort of order? A, C, B. Let me look at the questions for each of these. Food and services make up most of the Los Angeles economy, and these industries are privately held. That's not correct. So C is already out of the picture there. So maybe it's not this one. Philosophy. Could be philosophy. All of these. I have to read the excerpt again. Zoran universally inspires positive emotion. No, it's called universal emotion. That doesn't seem correct. I don't see the word positive emotion in here. Yeah, I don't think it's philosophy. So let's go science. I'm understanding now. This ACBs, we're not referring to the first question. It's all three questions. I'm stupid. Okay, so let's see if we can match it up then. What are the odds that someone is cool and someone who is not cool have a child that is cool? Okay, so this would be small c. And with the cool gene, big C, small c, that'd be 75%. Yeah. So this would be A. Oh, and then you have to. Oh my god. Then. Okay. Okay, so it could be. Let me try to. This could be A as well. And for the philosophy question, we can eliminate A. We can eliminate philosophy. It's not a philosophy class because A we know is incorrect. So it can't be this one. So it's down. So it's basically economics or science. Let's do science first. I'm going to do the homework. Okay. It has been proven that cool people write more than 500 queries. Okay, this is pretty straightforward, I think. Actually, what kind of table are we dealing with? Subject name, age. Oh, the number of queries written at each age level. So this is an aggregate query. So select sum of queries written from science homework. And we need to do a group by subject name, I think. Okay, well, I need the subject name, so hold on. Okay, so this gives us the total queries they've written all in their life, but we need to add some conditions here. Before reaching 24, oh, 20. Okay, so I see what this is. This is basically, we need to use both a where clause and a having clause. The where clause will, I'm trying to remember how this works. Subject name having some queries written greater than 500. There, okay. So we filtered out all the ones that have like the ones that have written more than 500 queries in total, but the question is asking for ones that they've reached 500 before reaching the age of 21. So this is where the where clause comes in. And I'm looking for age less than 21. Yeah. I think. Nope. It's hard to tell. That's hard to validate whether I'm correct or not, but I guess we can go with this. And we're looking for the count of this. This is, so how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. B. I think we'd assume that this is, I think it's not science, because the answer for the second question is C. So I think this is not, as fun as this query was, I actually quite enjoyed making this, but I think science is not it. So let's do the economics homework, I guess. Let's go back. Okay, so very different data set here. And let's look at what we're dealing with. We got export, the category year and export worth. I see. So very similar to what we saw of science, though we have some extra categories here. On average, oh, we have to use the average. Okay. Exports from non-ZOCs make up how much of Los Angeles's total exports each year? Okay, again, non-ZOCs. So, exclusively produced by Zoran-owned companies. So anything that's not energy. So food, service. Let's look at the categories here. Food, service, craft. Okay, there's energy. Industry, media. Okay. All right, let's look at the question again. So exports from non-ZOCs make up how much? So what we're looking for is around 8%. Or no, not 8%. 10% because of this. So let's do export average of export worth from Econ Homework. And then group by export. Oh. Oh, this is actually... This is a little bit... Because we're kind of... We have to sum up all of the non-ZOCs. And we have to express it as a percentage. So if we do this query, we're going to get a number, but we need to sort of compare it with how much the... I guess that can... we could get a number of the total... We can get a total amount of exports, and then maybe drill it down, like filter it by condition, maybe. Let's just see how this works. So group by... What does this give us? I see. Okay. So this is by export. But actually, I kind of want it by category. Whoops. Why doesn't that work? Group by category? Export. Oh, whoops. I see why. Put category here. There we go. So, It'd be nice if I had the sum of all these, but exports from non-ZOCs make... I guess we could do just some regular math here. Like, energy takes up 10,000, and the rest of it, let's see. Can I do sum of average of export? Can I put 2? No, I think I'm just gonna just manually calculate this. So 164 640 plus 3738 plus 3109 plus 274. Actually, hold on. I got. Let's do exact numbers here. 164 plus 9.9. 40 plus 5333 plus 3738.15 plus 3109.9 274. That's 75. It's a very small service industry, to be honest. So 8,828.23333 is what I'm getting here of non-energy exports. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't fit. If energy is 10,000, this is actually, then this would be, unless I'm, unless my definition of ZOCs is incorrect here. Oh, Zoran also holds a benevolent monopoly over the production of media industrial. Okay, I've screwed that up. I counted the media industrial materials, but that's not, I should not be including those in my calculation. So it's not 8,000. It is basically not energy, not industry, not media, which only leaves 164.9 plus 640, 5333, and the service industry. So 1,980. Let me make a note of this. Non-ZOCs. 1,980. And then the rest of the economy. I guess that's the whole total of this. I then start adding the rest of these. So 108.16.5, 373.5, 3109.9. That's about 19,644. So you can't see my calculator, so I'm gonna move this off screen here. So 19,644. So if we divide 1980 divided by 19,644, that's about 10%. Okay. So I think we are dealing, the class that they're referring to here is economics. Because based on the other ones, by process of elimination, it can't be the other ones. That means we don't have to solve the last question, but I don't know. Maybe we could do that as an extra exercise. So it's the economics class. So this person, the suspect, I've been to less than half of the classes, give me a break. A lot of different angles we can do here. Okay. So econ attendance. Trying to get a sense of how many classes we're dealing with here. So from May 5th to June 25th. And we determined that this is it's a Tuesday, Thursday class. I want to try to make a query of, I'm trying to make a query of all the people who have attended less than half the classes, but I'm trying to figure out how to do that. How would we do this? Is this a place where I need to do a self join? Self join accept. Null. Haven't run into any nulls yet. Join a table with any other table. What does that really give me? I think we definitely need to use a count of some kind. Where are my aggregate functions? Here we go. So a count of the number of rows in the column. Try this. Select student ID. Count attend date. I guess the dates don't. Hold on. The dates themselves don't matter, but it's the number that matters. The number of classes. So from this, we can sort of... I think we can count how many classes there have been so far based on this. So 5, 7... I guess I could manually count them. Let me see. Where are my notes? Okay, let me just make a little note here. So economics class. So, let's see. So May 5, 7. I guess from this I can sort of like count myself here. So 5, 7, that's like the Tuesday, Thursday class. And then the next Tuesday would be the 12th, right? Yeah, 12, 14. And then add another 7, so 19 and 21. Also, I guess I'll just scroll through this. That's probably the easiest way. 26th and 28th. And then I can't remember always. May has 31 days. So I guess the next class is June the 2nd and the 4th. 9 and 11. 16 and 18. 23rd and 25th. Okay. So based on this, there have been in total... it's 8 in May and 8 in June. So a total of 16 classes. So we're looking for someone who has been to less than half, which would be 8. So they would have attended 7 or less of the classes. Right? Yeah. Okay. So if we get the count, we're looking for, let's do from econ attendance, group by student ID, having count attend date less than 8. Yeah. Oh, there's quite a few people here. Okay. So we should probably save this table then. Should I name it? Slackers? I could name it Slackers, people who haven't attended all the classes. Econ. Let's call it Slackers. Yeah, Econ Slackers. People who haven't attended it. Okay, so our suspect is one of these students. It's still quite a large number of people. And then, okay, so let's go back to here. So we've solved this. We got this part. Now, This person who sits next to me in my row says so too. She got a better test score than both of us combined. This one seems a little bit more difficult to discern. Because we're going to have to look at... We're going to have to look at seating arrangements. So let me get the... sorry, there's a bit of a mess here. Let's close that off. Yeah, econ seats. Let's do a join on these tables here. So let's do select star from econ slackers. Slackers. Do that. We'll use L for that, and then join on econ seats, which is S. Where econ slackers dot student ID is econ seats dot student ID. I might have to do some cleanup here. Oh, econ slackers. Oh, I've done this wrong. L. I have to put the whole table in. There we go. We don't need all the columns here. We can well, we have a duplicate student ID, but that's we can clean that up later. Okay, so those are all of their rows and seat numbers. We also need their test score. I guess we could start with Matthew Hoji's test score, which we could probably look up right now. Yeah, let's put a pin on this one. Let's go back to here. Econ scores where? Student ID is 92486. 92486. They got pretty high score, 80. And given the score seems to range from 0 to 100, there's not that much room for... Yeah, oh, interesting. Interesting. So this kind of, because of Matthew Hoji scored so well, this kind of whittles it down quite a bit. That means we're looking for someone who is at least 80, could be probably higher, because again, the suspect had a score, because this person they're talking about had a score higher than theirs combined, so it's 80 plus something, and there's not that many people. Okay, how many people have scores greater than 80? Whoops. Oh, scorer. There we go. Not that many people. Okay, so... So we have the slackers and we have the people of greater than 80, but the hard part is the whole row thing. Like, we're looking for someone in... Actually, which rows are we... Actually, we have quite a few different rows here. It's not all rows, though. I'm seeing a lot of... Well, there's A9... How many students got more than 80? Oh, 87? Really? I guess that is kind of... Yeah, okay. So a lot of... Actually, this doesn't whittle it down too much. I'm going to make a query for this. A Slack... Okay, so seats... So from this table, we know their seat. We know their row. We're looking for... And the thing is, the person sitting next to it could be a seat number that's one more or one less. I think... Let me read the... Let me make sure I got this right here. Where's my clues? She got a better test score than both of us combined. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is... These are the slackers. These are the row numbers. Maybe I should also get their scores as well. Let's make a table like that. So which one is it? This one? Okay. So we've joined the slackers and seats table. I want to actually join also the econ scores table. I'm going to actually rename seats to T rather than S. And L.studentID equals T.studentID. Oh, whoops. Oh, did I do this wrong? On. Econ scores is not joined. Oh, because I haven't... There we go. I should also clean up the student IDs. Or the select statement here. So let's do L.studentID. I don't need the count anymore. So let's do row, seat number, and score. There we go. So this is... Our suspect is somewhere here. Their score is probably extremely low. Oh. Because Matthew Koji's score is so high, he got 80, we can filter this down even further. We can, because the only way that that other person got a score higher than them, their score must have been so low, I think it would have to be... It'd be less than 20, right? Because this person might have gotten 100. Yeah, so then... Let's filter it even further here. If we can. So where S.score is less than 20. Right? So Koji gets the most, I guess, the highest score that this suspect could have gotten was 19. So it'd be 80 plus 19 is 99. And then this other student, the best student would have gotten 100. So let's run this again. Okay. So our suspect is somewhere in here. And also the rows have filtered out a bit too. Yeah. Okay, let's save this table. I'm going to call it... Let's call it the suspects table. Yeah, suspects. Get rid of this one. Okay, so we have our list of us. These are so our suspect is somewhere in here. We need to. We're looking for someone who, so the person that got the higher score here, they're sitting next to this person, and they must have a score that is great. That's 80. That's greater than 80 plus this, plus whatever score they got. Okay, I'm starting to see how to do this. So again, we're not looking for the suspects. We're looking. I think this is where a self join kind of comes into play here, because we're kind of, well, sort of. Like we kind of made our own little custom table here, so maybe a self join isn't. Yeah, I don't think a self join is actually necessary. Let's see. Select from econ seats. T. You start here for now. And we do have to do a join here. So we'll do a join on econ scores S. So we have seats and scores. Okay. And we also, I guess we do need the suspects table too. Suspects table. These are all named S, so I can't really. Let's use X. Yeah, suspects X. Okay, we're looking for X dot. No, the T dot row. Let's start. Let's start off easy here. Let's start with the people who sit in the same row as any of these people. So, where T dot row is X dot row. So they sit in the same row, and their score. And their score is greater than X dot score, the suspect's score plus 80. I think that's right. What does this give us? Oh, it's quite messy. And actually a lot of... Oh, this might have been done wrong. I think it's doing a... No... So this is the suspect. Okay, hold on. Let me just read this out here. This first part is the suspect from the suspect table. And then this extra part is from the seat table, F1, and their score. The scores are quite high. So this is all of this is all for the person in sitting in F9, and then G36, G34. I think, yeah, this is correct, except what I need is the person sitting next to them. So now in this case, we can do something like and t dot seat number is x dot seat number plus 1. How am I going to do this? Or t dot seat number equals x dot seat number minus 1. Because they could be sitting on either the left or the right. What does this give us anything? Shit. No, I don't think this is right. No, I think I'm joining too much here. This is... Yeah, no, this is not correct. This is... Oh, I think I'm missing... Shit. I'm missing the on... I'm missing the on between the T and S. The student IDs have to match here. The X one we don't care about, because that's a totally different student. But t.student ID equals s.student ID, right? Because T and S, those are supposed to be merged together. So nothing was found in the database using your query. That's weird. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to simplify this query a little bit. Can I copy this? Okay, there we go. I'm going to simplify this query. I'm going to make a query that merges the seat and score table first. I think we need to do that first. So let's do... and then on... I'll make it a little easier to deal with here. So on t.student ID equals s.student ID. I can clean it up by doing t.student ID. And then row, seat number, and score. There we go. Okay. And we'll call this, I guess, econ seats and scores. I can't, okay. I'm just going to call it combine. I can't, there's apparently a table length, table name length limit here. Okay, so now I have this table. Now I can go back to here and maybe refine this query. So now I don't need to do... I'm going to call this econ combined C. Oh, maybe on is the wrong type of thing I should be doing. Well, actually, I don't need that. Hold on. I'm looking for the student ID. Is join the right thing to do here, though? I guess I have to join, but... T.row is x.row and seat number plus 1 or seat number So if I do this on its own, oops, C, C, see? Oh. Oh, I think that did it. Yeah, it's sort of like it shows. Yeah, so for example, this is the person who sits at F9. They got a score of 14. F8 got 80. F10 got 80. Let me just double. Let me confirm this. F8. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They both got it. Yeah, that's correct. So at least it doesn't really give me the answer, but it sort of gives me a visualization of right what I'm dealing with. So okay. Now, can I use, so the row is the same. The seat number is either the person on the left and the right, but I haven't put in, where's my clause for the score though? It seems to have gone missing. So I need to, where and c.score is greater than x.score plus 80. Right? Because it needs to be a, yeah. Yeah, okay, so this is our... Really? Shit. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm actually just realizing, look at all these scores. None of these are very... There's some 83s here and there. But none of them are actually high. Oh. So actually, when I did that first query, that might have been right. There were no... yeah, we screwed up somewhere. It's actually making me question whether this suspects table is actually correct anymore, because... less than 19. Nobody... I'm noticing there's no single digit scores here. Yeah, most of them are like at least 10, right? Now something... Oh, okay. So if all these scores, if there's no single digit scores here, that means whoever is sitting next to them probably has a score of 90 something. But looking at this, am I looking at the right table? Am I looking at the right class? A C I'm just gonna check. I'm just gonna double check here. Is it possible it's the philosophy class instead? Because maybe it is. Maybe it is A here. Science we know. That's A. And we looked at this. This came out to be B, right? Shoot, I'm gonna have to... look at my query history again. This would be the science homework. So let's look at this last science query. We did less than the age of 21, having a sum of queries written greater than 500. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, which is B, which is incorrect. It was A, C, B. Yeah, science is not it. Could it be philosophy? Just in case it is, because the doesn't seem to be the economics class, unless I screwed something else somewhere else, but let's do the philosophy homework. Oh. Oh, okay. Philosopher directly influenced. Okay, so we're doing it by last names only. Okay. So some of them have... Arthur Sheeran is his old name there. How many philosophers only have Zoran as a direct influence? Hold on, sorry, I got so many tables here. So let's select... Only have Zoran as a direct influence. Philosopher directly influenced. I guess we're just looking for... Star from... I guess, no. Count star... from philosophy homework, where philosopher is Zoran? Because I'm assuming that it's Zoran influenced these philosophers. That's the relationship here. Philosopher is Zoran. Nope, I don't want to click you.
Hey.
27. Oh. Only have Zoran as a direct influence. Only. Oh. Ugh. Okay, so it's not 27, obviously. How do you discern that? Oh boy. Shit. Calvin and Hobbes are there. I think... Do I need... There's probably a keyword I need to use here. Self joins null except... Is the unique keyword distinct? Distinct. Distinct can also be used inside aggregate functions to only apply the function on unique values within the column. We're looking for... We're looking for directly influenced ones that have philosopher equals Zoran, and that's it. It can't be anybody else. Only have Zoran as a direct influence. This case is hard, I have to say. I hope this is the last one, because this one is... I'm not dealing with any sort of data overload here, but the queries are definitely... Or at least the problems we're trying to solve here are definitely... I'm trying to think of how we can use the SQL tools we have in our toolbox to solve it here. Only have Zoran. Would a self-join work here? Hold on. Maybe? And we're looking for... P1 dot philosopher is Zoran. And does this work? Hold on, I'm missing something here. The Zoran P1, P2. I'm questioning whether self-join is actually the right. P2. Yeah, when you start thinking about self-joins, it makes my brain kind of melt a little bit, because I'm like this example may kind of make sense because you're looking for the people who are exactly twice the age of the other, but this one's a little... P1 dot philosopher is Zoran. So I guess if I... Let me see. If I... Using this sort of visualization, if I had two of these homework ones... If I self-join this table... What's it? The directly influenced one. I have a directly influenced... Oh. I think... Is it something... Is it something like this? P2 directly influenced is not P1... Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Because... How do I... Directly influenced... We're taking the indirectly influenced person, and then we're looking at the philosopher. Can I open this tape? I think I can open this table twice. Nope, I can only open it once, so it's hard to visualize. Directly influenced. Oh. We're looking at... Okay. P1.philosopher is Zoran. And P2.directly influenced... Whoops, that's not... Influenced. I think I've... There we go. Philosopher. Cannot show up in any of the other philosophers, I think. How do I express that? I'm like... One is Zoran. I think my brain is not functioning here. I don't know how to do this. Can you give me a hint here? Maybe? Let's see.
Hey. Aha.
Now we know how the youth text we should have. Yeah, I know that.
Aha.
If we knew what classes were taken by the suspect, I know that.
Aha.
Which classes? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Aha.
We know that already.
Aha.
We know that already.
Aha.
Yep. We tried economics, but that doesn't seem to be correct. And I think he's looping now.
Aha.
He's looping. Okay, so he's not helping me. Can he help me with this query, though? Oh, he's disappeared. Come back.
Hey.
What do you need help with? Philosophy homework. Question 2.
Aha.
It might be easier to write a query that finds all philosophers who don't have Zoran as direct influence. Oh, do I need to use the except? Oh, I need to use... This isn't I see. I think I need to use the... Let me just confirm this.
Aha.
Okay. I've been doing this. I've been going up the wrong tree here. So what I need to do is do philosophy homework where. Guess we can just do start for now. Where. So the philosopher is Zoran. Let me just confirm.
Aha.
Subtract from one of the other. So if we're only trying to find the ones with only Zoran, and then accept select star from Phil homework where philosopher is not Zoran? Is that what it's trying to tell me to? Then we can use count statements to... No, that's not correct. I don't think this is correct. Defines all philosophers who don't have Zoran as direct influence.
Aha.
So if I just did this, this gives us all the ones without Zoran. We're trying to find only Zoran. Okay, so I feel so stupid. I'm like, okay, this obviously doesn't work because this is just, yeah, Zoran, and these are completely, these are mutually exclusive sets here, right? So how do I... How do I employ this, though? Oh, okay. So this one has all of the... This has all of the philosophers influenced by someone else. And they're in the directly influenced column here. How do I get it though? Like... Oh, I have to... Oh, shit. Hold on. Also have to be... I have to fit this data so that it's... Oh, okay. Sorry, my brain is not working here. I feel like I'm so close to the answer here. This gets all of the Zoran ones of Zoran. This is not Zoran. With this one, I get all of the ones that are already directly influenced. So the directly influenced. Maybe it's this. That seems a bit more correct. Yeah, it's just the directly influenced column we have to filter on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is one of the answers. Okay. Let me just confirm that this is correct. So if I do, let's just visually look at it. So Adam Smith is influenced by Zoran, and it doesn't seem like he appears anywhere else. And then maybe we'll choose another one. Socrates. Where's Socrates? Descartes. Here's, oh, Socrates is up there. And he's not influenced by anything else. I think it... Okay, so at least this confirms... I mean, that's what we were looking for. That this is 13. So it is C here. So if the answer is... maybe this is A, and this is C... I could try doing question 3. Now counting duplicates, how many philosophers have been directly influenced by someone who is directly influenced by Zoran? Oh god. I don't know if I want to do that one. I could go straight. I could assume that this is B. And I guess we can also assume that this is... they're talking about philosophy, not economics. So we could go back to my master query here, the one I was trying to make here, which would be this. And I try to look in the econ class, but I found no results. So now I guess we can try to apply this to philosophy, though I need to make a new combined table for philosophy. So let me do that quickly. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah. But instead, we're going to change this to fill seats and fill scores, which gives us a completely different data set. We'll call this fill combined. Okay. And then now, let me get fill combined out. Now I go back to this query. Oh, no, not this query. This query here. Now I'm going to take out this. I'm going to take out this clause here. So I want to see. I want to visualize the data. I want to see the results. So I'm going to change this from econ combined to fill combined and see what we get here. Okay. So I see a 97 there and a 98. Interesting. So that's possibly, so that we have definitely a couple of candidates here. So now if I add in, what was it again? Shit, I've lost it. So fill combined, where their score is greater than this person's, the person sitting next to them, plus 80. Yeah, and there are two possibilities here. We have, so again, the person on the right here is the person who's there is sitting in B. So for example, we got B17 who scored 14. And they're sitting next to someone in B16 who scored 97. So 90, wait a minute, 97. Yeah, no, that's correct, because 80 plus 14 is 94. That's still better than them. Okay. And then we have this other person who sits in D3. They're sitting next to someone in D2 who got 98. Even more impressive. So 98 plus, 17 plus 80 is 97. So they just got one more than that. So we got two candidates here. Now, the question is, I think we might have to do based on gender, unfortunately. Because the message did say, oops. She got a better test score than both of us combined. There's no gender information in the database, so we're going to have to base this on their name. So going back onto this thing. Actually, let me save this table as well. Let's call this... I don't know. Actually, no, I'll just leave it like this. Yeah, let's make sure I don't close this one. So 5, I guess we'll just look them up. Oh, do we have their names? Shit. Oh, we do. We have the students table. Okay. So students, select star from students, which we got from the staff information. Student ID. So we're looking for these two. 53017. Hi Castillo. I really don't know what that could be, a guy or a girl. I don't know. That's And then the other one was 35176. Brian Hale. I hope I'm not... The problem of this, I feel like I could be, and if I made an error in my queries anywhere, or made some sort of bad assumption, then I could answer and it could be the wrong person. This Ryan sounds like a man's name. So it probably is this. I guess. And then whoever's sitting next to them is 69190. Ned Gunter. We could also try, if this is the person, then we can also filter out, because again, they're taking only two of the classes out of the three. So we could, I could try this from, and they are right there. So let's start with econ seats. It's their seat number, okay. Are they in the philosophy class? They're not in the philosophy class. Wait. What? Oh, I fucked this up. This suspect's... Oh, I fucked something up here. This suspects table is based on the economic... The econ class. That's wrong now. Shit. So this is... Trash everything. Trash that. That's the wrong table. Actually, let me get rid of... Let's shoot that suspects table. Crap. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. Yeah, okay. So going back to this query here. Or actually not this query. Which one is it? This one? This one, okay. Let me copy this one just in case I lose it again. We need to make a new suspects table. And this suspects table needs to be based on the philosophy class, not the econ class. So let me see if I can recreate it here. Is it this query here? No. I'm trying to look for the last... I'm trying to look for the query just before... Oh, shit. And I had an econ slackers table as well. So I'm going to have to recreate... I have to reconstruct everything again. So I need... Okay, I need to copy this one too. So we're going to need to get that. Oh, I can't paste anymore. Shit. Econ seats, econ. So we need to make a philosophy slackers table. And that is... Where the heck am I going to get this? Scores greater than 80. We're looking for the ones... I think it might be this one. Oh, and the philosophy class is different. Oh, geez. Okay, hold on. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. Philosophy... Attendance. Where are you? So, for... Oh, this looks like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Wait, why is there a 6? It's going 4, 6, 7. Oh. Not intended. Not another 6, 7 joke here. Yeah, no, this is a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, but why is this... Do you see what I'm seeing here? May 4th, May 6th, and then May 7th. How is that possible? 6th and... That's not Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think there might be a slight error. It should be Monday. I think it's more like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Based on what I'm seeing here. Yeah. I think I'm going to count it up just to... I guess it maybe doesn't matter in the whole scheme of things, but... Shoot. Too many queries running around here. Put the queries over there. Okay, so philosophy. May 4, 6, and 7. 11, 13, 14. 18, 20, 21. 25, 27, 28. And then, okay, the weekends, so... Or the month ends, I should say. June 1st, I guess there's 3 and 4, I bet. Okay, then 8, 10, and 11. It's a lot of classes, honestly. 15, 17, 18. 22, 24, 25. 22, 24, 25, right? And 25th seems to be the last class. Oh, no. 29th is the last class. Interesting. So this, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 classes in May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 classes. That's 25 classes. Half of those is about 12 and a half. So less than, so it'd be probably less than 12 is technically less than half, so it'd be, let's do that. Less than or equal to 12. Right? So, okay. So now I need to recreate this one. This philosopher's slackers table. And this will be less than or equal to 12. Okay. Okay, let's save that. So fill slackers. Okay. Now, so we're basically retracing our steps, but instead using the philosophy classes instead. We're basically using the same queries, but we have to just modify them. Then we use this query here. Just review what this one does. Econ slackers, fill seats, and fill scores. So this one looks for all of the slackers who have a score less than 20, because that hasn't changed. Oh, wait. Shit. This might not be correct anymore because Matthew Koji's score in philosophy might be different. Shit. Hold on. How can I get his score? I guess we can just simply do Bill scores where student ID is, what was his score? 2486. Okay, so 76 was his score. Which now change. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these queries here. I'm going to make a new table here. We'll change these to Phil. And now if his score was 76, that means the suspect's score can be 24. Or 23 is the max, actually. Right? Because 76 plus 76, and then they could have gone 23, which would get that to 99, the total 99, and the last person could have got 100. So yeah, 24 is what we want, and this one has to be 76. Okay. So, and let's, oh, this one actually should still be econ. Part of me kind of thinks that maybe econ was, maybe it is that department, maybe I just did something wrong, but I don't know. Oh, 246. What the hell? That's not correct. Okay, so this is going to give us the... We're going to save this as a suspects table, but this is our new suspects table. These are people who attend from the slackers table, which are people who attended 12 or less philosophy classes and got a score of less than 24. Okay, so these are our suspects again. Pretty low scores there. And then using this fancy table, or query, I should say, we're looking for people who sit next to the suspect and have a score, a score that is plus the suspect score plus 76, which is Matthew Koji's, or Koji, whatever his name is, score. And we get one result from this. We have 692. Okay. This might be the answer. Let me just check from students where we can also confirm it, maybe based on their name, maybe we can discern gender here. Magda Vasquez, that sounds like a feminine name. And then our suspect, Robert Little. I think we have our guy. I don't see any other means of. So I've always tried this, but so far we've been very lucky and we've always gotten the right answer. But I wonder what happens if I think something. I like looked up the achievements for the game, and it seems like you can get fired from your job, or at least get a reprimand. So if I put this in and it's the wrong person, then I'm not sure what's going to happen. But I think we should try. We should give this a try. So let's do it. Robert Little. Wow. I was kind of expecting to be wrong there, but I guess... And there's another case after this. Oh no. Okay.
You know, Detective, now that we have the perpetrator of this disgusting crime in our custody, I think locking them up will be a good thing for them in the long run. No phones, no distractions, just letting them live in the moment. They'll learn to appreciate life much more in that cold jail cell, I'm sure. But I think that was the last case we had for you. Let's see. Yeah, I don't... That's right. There is one more case that we have, but it's so minor and insignificant, even for us, that it's probably not worth your time. It's also a few years old. You know what? Read the arrest warrant yourself, and you can decide if you want to solve it or not. No pressure. This old newspaper article should give you a starting point if you want to investigate more, but I'm sure you have better things to do with your time. Feel free to log off and spend the rest of the day away from the keyboard if you want, because, I know that's what I'd be doing.
Okay, so there is one last case. I've been going for 3 hours now, but I'm kind of feel like I'm in the groove right now a little bit. Like as hard as that last case was, I got sidetracked by the economics class, but eventually we sort of saved it. I think. So I feel like I could go on for a little bit longer here. I don't know how long this case will take, though. And considering it's the last one, it's probably gonna take a while. But I don't know. Let's get this game over with. It's weird that the time to play that I've seen for this game is 8 hours, but we're gone like so way over it. But again, because I'm reading everything and just looking at everything, it's taking so much longer. Yeah, let's do this. I'm very curious of what this last case is. News report. Los Angeles Times, December 6th, 1993. Hot dog eating record shattered. A new hot dog eating record has been set by Graham Ferguson, who miraculously scarfed down 62 hot dogs in just 8 minutes, beating his own record of eating 60 hot dogs in the same time frame. Graham Ferguson, a Los Angeles native, has been eating hot dogs since he was 3 years old. I just love hot dogs, he told us in an exclusive interview. Hot dogs are really tasty. Actually, I'm probably going to eat hot dogs after this stream. I got some in the fridge. But hot dogs aren't all that drive this young prodigy. I hope my accomplishments establish a sense of national pride for us Los Angelesians. We are people who have been through so much hate and suffering. That's not right. What is the chief trying to point me at here? Let's keep reading here. Yugoslavian occupation going well. The ongoing Yugoslavian occupation has been going pretty well, according to ZDF Sergeant Bill Cayley. Definitely no war crimes have been happening. Everything is going fine and dandy. Things have been going pretty well since the first ground invasion of Yugoslavia just 1 month ago, when ZDF troops quickly overtook Yugoslavia, committing no war crimes in the process. They keep saying that. If in the rare, close to zero chance that war crimes were committed in the region, Cayley assured us that there would be good reasons for committing them, such as being a little spooked by the presence of a civilian. No. An internal investigation by the Azoran Intelligence Agency has confirmed that no war crimes have been committed and that there is nothing to worry about. Since lying is illegal, we can assume that these internal reports are completely accurate. Yikes. Los Angeles private pension program goes bankrupt. The Los Angeles private pension program, LZPPP.com, has declared bankruptcy today after an inability to pay those back in the program. Kind of curious. We are bankrupt as of December 1st, 1993. A pension plan program for the people of Los Angeles. We have over 0 million in assets. We have been registered for 7 years on broker.com. We only invest in companies headquartered here to help grow the local community. Broker.com. The heck is this? Buy the stocks you want when you want, except the weekend. There's a login screen here. Traders. FAQ. Oh, this seems a little... This seems a bit much, I have to say. Okay. Let's see. Today's obituaries. Former Los Angeles Times journalist Jerry Webb was found dead this morning in apparent suicide. He wrote for his blog bigleaks.net before his death. Oh, is this what we're referring to here? And finally, Surin's brilliant points for Zoroastrianism. Okay, from the last time here. Give me 1 sec here. Sorry, I had to step away there. I was like, I was hearing some weird water noises in my apartment, and it seems like someone's doing some draining or something. I don't know. Okay, so Jerry Webb. This seems like this is going to be quite involved. I guess I could keep going, or I could leave it till next week. No, I think I'm going to keep going here. So let's look at bigleaks.net here. Big Leaks. New redacted government document just dropped, real not made up, November 24th, 1993. Guys, I still have access to my work files and came across this document. Isn't this crazy? This is totally like from a movie or something. I found a few more top secret documents like this that I can't wait to share with you guys. Jeez. You're just gonna put it out there like this? Jerry Webb is a journalist, blogger, and free speech advocate. He is known for his groundbreaking stories, such as being the first to reveal the casting of 5 Detective Moleman films. He resides in apartment B on the corner of Colombo and Park Avenue, and generally leaves his door unlocked. I wonder how he got so easily murdered. The address is interesting too. So, Operation Cash Flow. The redacted must be sustained by all means. Alternative sources of funding will be required. Redacted. We plan to fund this through 3-stage plan as follows. Oh, it's some sort of... Oh, there's more here? What the heck is this? Borrow as many shares as possible in companies based in Yugoslavia, maybe? And transfer these shares into our account. Sell these shares immediately. Ensure that the borrowed shares must be returned after that. Wait a few days before buying back the shares needed to return what we borrowed in full. We expect the full impact of the war in Yugoslavia. I see. Okay. I see. I think I kind of see this. Yeah. So if you buy shares in companies in Yugoslavia, and then you buy them, you borrow, you sell them you sell high when their prices are high, and then when the war in Yugoslavia happens, then the economy collapses inevitably, and then you rebuy all the shares there. Though I guess at that point you've already invaded the country, like you already own everything, like. Each agent must then mail all operation profits individually to the location of our operation planner and coordinator at an address. Use your real name on the package to ensure that we know this operation has completed successfully. That doesn't seem like a safe thing to do. What's all this? Is Taylor May pregnant? Possible baby bump sighted. Okay, I don't have a photo of this since it's illegal to take pictures in the theater, but is Taylor May pregnant? I saw something that looked like a baby bump. You heard it from here first. Anna Parker is dating Peter Burns? What are they doing together? I was camping out in my usual shrubbery, and guess who I saw? Anna Parker, one of the biggest stars right now, walking and laughing next to Peter Burns? Who hasn't been relevant since the first Detective Mole Man movie? Could they be dating? Why haven't they said anything? Okay, this is very tabloidish. Fired for telling the truth. April 12th, 1993. It appears that I have been fired from the Times for my last story. That is to say, I was fired for telling the truth about the cast of the new Detective Mole Man movie. They are trying to silence my speech, and I will not allow it. The truth must be heard. Journalism must not die. I will move toward independent blogging in the meantime. So again, I'm working for the police department, which is again an arm of the government. So what exactly am I trying to solve here? Like, this seems... I'm also a little surprised that this website is still up after all this time. Usually governments would take this down right away. Private pension program goes... Oh, did they? Or maybe they were trying to prop up the pension program? Yeah. Okay, well, actually, let's... There's no other links here, so let's go back to the LZPP here in broker.com. Let's look through these. All In Incorporated. Oh, there's addresses here too. Oh, and they also have websites. Oh boy. Okay. Let's read the guide first. Stock info guide. The official... Okay. Registered company name. The ticker symbol. Their price. Address. The address of the company's owners, the largest shareholder. Official company website. View every price the stock has ever been traded for the past. And view transactions. It's probably going to be a table, I bet. I can't buy or sell right now. FAQ. How do I transfer shares? How does trading work? Seems pretty straightforward. Is it possible that Jerry Webb might have engaged in some sort of trading? Like, I don't know, like Jerry Webb? No. Maybe it's some sort of... Maybe it's some sort of special username or something. Okay. Let's go back to here. Go all in. Oh, there's so much. Oh, this is too much. Oh, this is... I'm actually starting to think maybe I should leave this till another stream. Because this is going to take a... Based on how this is gone, this is a lot. Like, CalMail... This is going to take a while, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it here, because I think if I were to start doing this case, we're going to be here for another 3 or 4 hours. there's just a lot of information here. Because it's not just here on the broker website, on broker.com, but also their website themselves. And a lot of these are new. Like the only one that's I've seen before is Clown Car. The rest of these are completely new websites, and they seem to be. There's a lot going on here. Jeez, I'm actually very surprised about the amount of detail that's in this game. Like, it's a little crazy, I have to say, but it's also good in the sense that there's a lot of content to go through. It's just gonna take a while. So, I think that was a good introduction to this case. At least we know what we're dealing with. There's something. It's something to do with Jerry Webb and whatever happened with the LZPPP here. But yeah. Okay. So I think yeah, unfortunately we're not going to finish this game today. I think I'm going to have to probably next week I'll schedule one more stream of this and we'll finish this last case. So I'll try to figure out when to do that. But yeah. Yeah, so as a reminder, Sovereign Tower is coming out on Thursday, so I'll be playing that when it comes out on that day, and also on Friday and Saturday as well. If you want notifications on when I'll be going live, the best way is to follow me on Blue Sky or join my Discord server. The links for those are below in my About page. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, we'll come back to this next week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.